Today's episode is brought to you by the new movie, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. Nobody is ready for the mayhem and surprises that ensue when 6 of the town's worst youngsters disrupt the yearly Christmas performance. Starring Judah Greer, Pete Holmes, directed by Dallas Jenkins, and is out everywhere November 8th. Go to bestchristmaspageantever.movie for more information and stick around for the rest of this episode. Hey everybody, welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian, the host of the aforementioned podcast, and alongside me in our state-of-the-art recording studio, downtown La Mesa, above Public Square Coffee, is my lovely wife, my co-host, overall great gal, Melissa Nickerson.
Hey there.
Andy Lara is here as well.
Every day is a winding road.
You get a little bit closer. Yeah, we could not find the. Anyways, we're
mixing up our songs.
We're mixing up everyday lyrics from the 90s, but we are going to talk a lot about 90s music in this episode. Which, I mean...
This is our I Love the 90s episode.
Yeah, great.
That.
Yeah. But it's great. I can't, usually I like to tease Mel's outfit a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't, because you look lovely. And I came straight from the airport, baby. I woke up in John Crist guest room this morning, Nashville, Tennessee. We're going to talk a little bit about my trip to Austin, my trip to Nashville, Mel making 30 tie-dye shirts over the weekend while I paraded at my own comedy shows and a music festival. The same level of labor. And I'm still in the Viores and the compression socks because apparently those help with blood clots. You know,
You gotta look out for that stuff.
Yeah, you know, at a certain point of middle age, you just kind of start absorbing things that people tell you. They'll be like, hey, compression socks when you fly. And you don't even need to hear why. You just go, okay.
You just put that in the Amazon cart.
Yeah.
I did that with I'm heartburn meds.
Yeah.
Like I had those during pregnancies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, here we go again. You know, travel with these, keep these in the car.
100%.
It's time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, being an adult is welcoming Advil at any time. You don't even have a specific thing. You just go, it'll probably help something in there, right?
Totally.
Something's a little painful somewhere. Take a little that. What do you got?
The edge off.
What do you got? Some Tums in there? Huh? A little Pepto? Mix that in my protein shake.
It's your collagen.
Now I can yes. Now I can break fast. Truly, you'll take any little health tip at our age.
Like, yeah, this is Marin's turmeric.
Yeah. You'll go up and you'll go. What are you doing for stretches? You got a back one? How much water are you drinking? You doing fish oil? Are you doing just water, or you're putting electrolytes in the water? That's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I did start traveling with liquid IV. I was like, you know, you do get dehydrated on planes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the little water bottle with the measuring on it for, by 3 p.m. I need to be here.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Anything to help.
I went to a...
Make it easier for me.
I know I'm an adult because I went to an outdoor concert this week, and I only went to the hydration station. Like, I was not balancing it with alcohol. I was just there. Like, they would give me the drink, the free water or whatever, and I would pound it before I walked away.
A second one.
To get a second one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was...
What are you drinking? What's your mix of pills? Fish oil, got fish oil. You got a multi's not enough. CND.
Not enough. Yeah. What else? Oh, man.
You would, when you're in your 20s...
Magnesium.
Magnesium.
Yeah, I was going to say magnesium, right?
Yeah. Yeah, in your 20s, you're like, magnesium. Was that on the...
Glucosamine?
Was that a glucose?
Sorry.
That's the joints? Yep,
Yep.
absolutely. I got one of those.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When you're 20s, you would roll your eyes when somebody would say that. And you're like 30s and 40s, middle age, you'd be like, oh, what's that one do? Do I need that?
You're like, you get your notes app out. Okay.
Yeah. No, what's that pill do? Inflammation? Sure.
Yeah. How do you spell glutathione?
Yeah. No, which
Now,
one do you
can
use?
you do the iron and the at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait. That's over the counter? Okay. Is that a gummy? Okay.
I can't do the sugar. Recently,
Your kid, you're just like pound 1 Flintstone vitamin. You're like, I'm good. And no bone could ever break. I'm just on this and cow's milk. Ah!
truly.
Cow's milk, Flintstone. Cow's milk, Flintstone. Cow's milk, Flintstone. That's all I need. I'm invincible. That you are. And now is an
And
adult.
gushers.
Yeah.
Gushers.
Yeah, that's all I need. That's all I need. And now you have an upset stomach. You're like, did I eat something? Oh, wait, I haven't even eaten yet. What upset my stomach? Nothing.
Too much water.
Yeah. Oh, I was supposed to take that with food.
Yeah. Did I take... Is there... Yeah. And then being an adult, you're like, can you drink too much water? Is overhydration a thing?
Overhydration.
Signs of overhydration. Clip it. Boom.
Something new to worry about.
Oh, man. Out of the gate strong. All right, guys. See you next week. Oh, man. Anyways, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. The point is, I am full airport gear right now, and I've been on the road, and I got a lot of road on me right now, and I've got a lot of road coming up, and Mel looks nice. Her clothes look great. The last time we talked was the Patreon on Sunday, and then now this.
The Patreon Zoom.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was you tried to convince me to come on this trip and bring Claire.
Yeah.
Because she's on fall break.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dustin, I've made promises.
Yes.
I have to tie-dye all weekend.
I have tie-dye to do.
And the way you described the schedule in like the Austin airport, the day after the festival, there's no way me and Claire could home.
It was a nice thought. What I'm doing, we're at a stage now where I'm kind of like, we're still like 5 to 10 years out from, hey, Mel, come with me. We're going to my shows and the thing, and they're great, and we'll stay out. And we're like, oh, yeah, we still have children. Like, our son's in his senior year, so it feels like, in one regard, we're almost done. But but we're just like, oh, no, we still have... That's the weird thing about your kids getting older. Like, I was telling you the other day, and I riffed this on stage, like, when you have kids of big age ranges, you can be dealing with, like, FAFSA and Santa at the same time. And that's a real, like, oh, wait, which age of parent am I right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was talking to a doctor about how different our daughters are stage-wise.
Yeah.
Because we have a 5th grader and a freshman in high school. Mm-hmm. And they're 4.5 years apart, but that's like a big gap.
Right.
Like developmentally.
Yeah.
It's quite big.
Yes.
And then a senior son too, which is again a huge developmental jump.
The developmental gap between our 5th grader and our freshman is comparable to Joel and me.
Yeah.
Like our 17-year-old and this nearly 40-year-old. Mm-hmm. If anything, Joel and I are closer. Yeah. I had a dream about him like having a beer, and he was being a real punk about it. And I was like, what are you doing? He's just like drinking it right in front of us. And he's like, what are you going to do? Hit me? And I was like,
is this like a 90s movie?
No, yeah. This is where I get that bit from that I'm doing on stage right now. It's like when you have vivid dreams, you just go on these little adventures every weekend. You're like, what happened tonight? You know?
I've actually had some dreams this weekend. One, I dreamt about tie-dye because I've been doing it so much. And then 2, last night, I convinced myself that I had signed Joel up for the SATs again.
Yeah.
And then I was so mad. I was like, why did I pay twice for this? Like, it just this like... Anyway, it's there, right?
It's there.
That's what I'm thinking
it's
about.
floating around. Some version
Yeah.
of it is
And
floating around in the
I don't have
subconscious.
vivid dreams, so that's pretty funny.
You're getting
Yeah.
more now. So, all right, let's get to some business. One, if some of you guys have been giving us reviews, please continue to do that. That helps us a lot. Reviews on Apple. What is it? Your podcast app, wherever
And
you
Spotify
listen.
now. You can comment on the show.
Can
on
you
Spotify.
comment now on
Yeah,
Spotify?
You can. It's great.
Nice.
That's new then,
Okay.
because you used to be able to just do the star.
Correct. You can
Okay.
now leave comments.
That's
Okay.
good to know.
The only thing is we have to figure out our access now that things have changed. But
What do you mean our access? You've changed
so we
things.
can see it and approve comments because we can comment, but we have to approve them. But
Oh, so we probably don't have any yet
unless
because
the
you haven't.
filter's turned off, I don't know. But we'll figure it out.
That's a great question.
Well, we have a ton of reviews, or not a ton. We have a lot of reviews. We have like a 4.9 on Spotify, and but I don't see any comments.
Right. I think we gotta approve them.
Well, get on it.
Who's we? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. That's a good point. But on Apple, it's no problem.
Mel.
You got him. On this is a recent one we got from Scott in Modesto, which is funny that he put his full. This is from Scott Elliott in Modesto, California. That's his Apple name, which is funny. Usually people have like Mama B.
Shirizzy.
Yeah. Franny, Kimmy. This was people were doing a Emmy thing there for a while with us. But this is from Scott Elliott in Modesto, California. 5-star, infinite bingo dingoes. Mel's laugh will make you feel right at home. And Dustin's observations will make you feel like you're not the only normal person in California. One of my favorite podcasts. So, we got some business to do. Before I get into that, I'm going to take a double sip of I'm full beverage goblin right now, if you don't know if you've noticed this.
That's nice. Yeah.
This is my favorite trend that Gen Z has introduced me to, is just embracing being a beverage goblin. I like having 2 drinks at once, not in an alcoholic sense. It's like a nice little...
So you got a bubbly, mango bubbly, and water.
A slightly flavored, like carbonated drink with a black coffee is so freaking good. Ugh, I love it.
At breakfast yesterday, I had a mimosa, coffee, and a water.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah. That's smart. Impossible to get tipsy when you're doing coffee and water simultaneously. So anyways, leave us reviews. Also, I got a lot of upcoming shows if you guys want to go to them. Do you mind pulling that up for me, Andy?
Oh, yeah, of course. There it is.
This weekend I'm going to be in Louisville, Kentucky, October 18th through 20th. And then Salt Lake after that. November, Oxnard, Bakersfield, Springfield, Raleigh, Chattanooga, Everett. December, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Spokane, and Phoenix. January, Indy. And then we're going into the rest of the year, Denver, St. Louis, Columbia, Toronto, Eugene. So check that out. We had our Patreon Zoom hang on Sunday. One of the perks of being a patron of the patronage. Being a patron is getting to do our monthly Zoom hangs. Meet and greet, stuff like that.
Lots of stuff behind the scenes.
But this one was a good chat. Was one of the ones where Mel and I were kind of legit catching up. And if you want to know how insider info ahead of patrons get some real information, they knew that I got a tattoo this weekend before Mel did. Because Mel had to leave the room to go do some tie-dye laundry, and I showed them. Where should I put that to be seen there?
Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Should we zoom in on that?
Zoom in on that, huh?
Go on. Let's do a little zoom in.
A little zoom in on a little tattoo there.
Focus. There we go.
So the patrons knew about that before Mel did.
Me.
It's literally like 2-3 days old, so it's it's a little on the red and puffy side, but it's I lose wedding rings all the time. And so we've been talking about doing this for a long time. So Mel's nickname for me is Moonlight. I will never tell you why.
You called
Mel's
me.
nickname that I call her is Moonlight. Yeah. And people ask about that, and they'll never know. And so I got that. That's very convenient. She did a good job. It's red right now, so it's kind of a blood moon.
I did not imagine that you and I would both get new tattoos within the same 2 weeks.
Did you get a tattoo as well?
Have you seen that one?
I totally
yeah.
that.
Yeah, rules.
Good times.
Well, I mean, this is literally my only tattoo as well. So
Great.
I don't know if we call it is new Because when she was like, "Is this your first tattoo?" and in my mind I was like, "This is my only tattoo I'm getting."
Yeah.
So.
So you got it in Austin.
I got in Austin. Nice tie back. Before we do that, the Facebook group is fantastic. You guys are very funny, very interesting. You put great stuff in there. This is from Bonnie. She said, "My son ate 2 pounds of ground beef by himself last night. When I came home down to eat after finishing laundry and found out no one else had gotten any of the ground beef for their tostadas, there was nothing else left. I thought we really could have used 3 pounds of salmon for dinner tonight." It is funny that people are, because of your comment, people are starting to really think through the pounds of their meat or food that they serve to their children.
I don't know if you do this yet, Andy, but when your kids serve their own plates, you have to like kind of say like, eat a fifth of this.
Yeah.
You know? And they have to understand fractions a little bit. But like, you get a fifth of this.
Yeah.
You know? Like, because there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's kind of, that's classic.
It is classic, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm just out here on my own, eating 100% of what I buy.
Just making nachos out of the tostadas.
Nah, exactly. This meal's all mine, baby. I eat so healthy on the road. It's great. I did Nateland yesterday, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But
Yes.
in that episode, I'll give you guys a little tease, though it might air before ours. It might be out.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yep.
We talk about cultural differences between the West Coast and the South, and one
Is that the title?
something.
Or,
Yeah,
you know, like
that's the theme. Yeah, it's the theme.
West
yeah.
versus East
Yeah.
or South?
Yeah. Something, I don't know what they're going to call it, but yeah, it's in that vein. But Dusty said his favorite part about California is how easy it is to eat healthy here.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is a grown-up statement. Because you are, like, it is very, like, it's very true. Like, it's just not, it's easy to, you know, what do you need? Some smoothies, some fruit?
We have a lot
of fresh
fruit.
stuff? Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
$11, but it is, no, it's actually not, because there's so much produce here, it isn't as expensive as some places.
Yeah. Oh, you're vegan? Oh, yeah. Cool. Well, it's right next to the vape shop.
Yeah.
With the, we can grab ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually a vegan vape shop.
Yeah.
There's no dairy or meat in that vape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. I mean, if you're a teenager, you're probably eating California burritos and In-N-Out. But
Even
he's
fast,
right.
Well,
He's
and
right.
that's what we
Yeah.
talked a little bit of In-N-Out, and that's the freshest, like, healthiest fast food you're gonna find. Like, you go to In-N-Out and you're like, this is an onion. I recognize it as an onion. This is bread. And I recognize this as it tastes fresh. So
the
it is.
lettuce and the tomato are really fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get 8 pounds of In-N-Out for your kids.
That's right.
So yeah, I was in Austin. I had a very Austin weekend. For those who've been fans for a while, I kind of did an infamous rant about how I thought Austin was overrated, and it wasn't really a knock on Austin. It was just, we were in the era where everyone was leaving California to go to Austin. And I'm here to tell you, a lot of them have come back. And a lot of them got there and they're like, oh, this is Texas. And I go, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I like Austin a lot. It is one of my very favorite cities. But
It is in Texas. Yeah.
the people in Texas know what Austin is. But a lot of people who are moving and hyped Austin, I was like, know what you're getting into. Like, I don't think you fully understand all that and that's what I mean is, like, there was such a hype around Austin for a little while that I'm like, hey, it's like all places, it's got some good and bad to it, but it is a wonderful comedy city. And our fans there are really great. And they did that club there, Cap City, is fantastic. And it's, I did an Instagram story about it. It's another show that I do out at a mall, and it is like 15 minutes outside of town, and everyone's like, perfect. I mean, it's a bougie mall.
Yeah.
I mean, the Domain, type in the Domain Austin and go to their stores list. I mean, it is high end.
Austin
What do you mean? Type
has
in
some-
Domain.
The Domain
That's
is the name of it. That's
name of
hilarious.
it.
Yeah. It's called The Domain Austin. Yeah, go look at their stores list. It's
They
like,
have some like pretty nice
yeah, go to stores there.
burbs, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's money in Austin. So the Aloft is where I stayed. Just start scrolling down. So yeah, I mean, there's you would know. I mean, a lot of brands I've never even heard of.
Yeah, these are all nice.
Aritzia, Balenciaga.
This is very similar to our Fashion Valley in San Diego.
Okay. Burberry. Yeah. Cap City Comedy Club's right there, baby. Got a Coach.
I have never had Kava.
Yeah, it's great.
Kava's great.
David Yurman, what even is that? That's you don't click on it. Diamonds Direct. you know when you're in a high-end mall where they're like, you haven't even heard of these places.
Yeah. Ooh.
Nice.
I mean,
look at all that. What is that language?
Yeah, Forgula Gaucha.
Brazilian steakhouse. That's what
yeah. There we go. Like, so yeah, this is high end. They got a Gloria's, a Gucci. It's not a full IKEA. They got these little IKEA pop-up things.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen any of those yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go to pull it up. I've never seen one either. I hadn't seen one either before.
Is it like a mini Target?
Yeah, kinda. It doesn't really show it. It's a little baby.
Oh, okay.
It might just be.
Did you go in?
No, it actually might just be a shipping center. I don't know what it is. I didn't.
Do they have a restaurant?
I mean, it says restaurants.
Yeah.
Order at the counter. So maybe we have like an IKEA little walk up to eat.
You know. In hindsight, I shouldn't went and looked at it, but
it's all right. We're just interested.
But what they also have is
taking a field trip to Austin, just to the mall.
It's one of my favorite clubs to play. Which, by the way, it's hilarious that they also have a Journeys because Journeys makes it in every mall. It doesn't matter. Journeys is coming to your mall.
They got a contract with the government.
I think it's also a bit southern.
Journeys?
Yeah, I think so.
Journeys is everywhere.
Sorry, I just had to. My kid, the little one. We're good.
Did she get picked up?
She did. Yeah.
I don't think there's a Wetzel's at this mall. Scroll down. I mean, if you're not
impossible. You gotta go down to W.
If you don't have a Wetzel's, are you even a mall? Unbelievable.
No, they probably have an Auntie On.
No, I didn't see it.
Auntie On.
Auntie Ons. What?
Zoomies makes up for it.
Yeah.
It is funny to think about like Zoomies being by Coach in a diamond store. They're like, hey, you want to buy some diamonds or this
skateboard,
this Chucky T-shirt? You want to buy this Five Nights at Freddy's tank top?
or a dog collar.
Or a $50,000 dog collar. But anyways, they're great. I like the domain. I really like staying there because everything that I need for a weekend is it's like my smoothie shop's right there for brekkie. And then I woke up on Saturday, watched the Huskies get demolished by Iowa, and then and they have Houndstooth Coffee right there, which is great. But it's also one of these malls that has like a nightclub in it, so that was kind of bumping. They also have a Velvet Taco, which is great. It's great. It's great.
I did have Velvet Taco.
You did, and it's very good.
Yeah, I also had Velvet Taco for the first time in these travels.
What'd you think?
Very interesting. Tikka masala taco. Nice.
Yeah, they got a lot of...
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of fusion.
Yeah. It reminds me of City Tacos. I mean, Velvet Tacos is bigger than City Tacos, so I suppose it's the other way around. But
and they have queso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shinerbach.
City Tacos doesn't have queso.
No, you know, I always get the salmon, and then they have like a Kobe beef one.
Oh wow!
Which is quite good.
Was the Kobe beef one like the cheeseburger one? It's like a smash burger version. That's what they had at the airport.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You get it at the airport?
I mean, you would know if you had a cheeseburger.
No,
taco.
it wasn't a cheeseburger. He's just saying it was the type of meat, like cheeseburger meat.
It was like a cheeseburger concept. It was like a smash burger taco. But when you think about it, it's basically just like an American taco. Like you'd make it home with cheddar cheese and ground beef.
White people taco night.
Totally.
Have you seen those videos?
Yeah. It's like I was like, I don't want that, and I had to think about it. I'm like, oh wait a minute. I grew up eating tacos exactly like that my entire life.
Yeah.
Yes, we all did.
Can you move the clock over a little? It's blocked.
I can't. I think. Hold on. It's because this is further out.
Okay, great. Perfect. Anyways, I had the most. That's perfect. Thank you. I had the most. The point being, I had the most Austin weekend imaginable because I went there and that was great. And it's all built in and the shows are great. I have such good fans in Texas. I mean, Texas is truly one of the great comedy states for us. It's so good. I think just overall, like Dallas is great, Houston is great, San Antonio's great, Austin's great. Everyone who comes out, and the shows that I've done at like in Corpus have been great. Like just a great comedy state. So thank you to everyone who came out of the shows. I had a lot of fun. There were a lot of fun moments. We got some funny clips coming. Clip it up, and then everyone was in a good mood because Texas beat Oklahoma, so that was good. I was in the right state to be in there, and then I also got a tattoo, which was like, I mean, it was a 0.8 mile walk to, and there was like a bunch of. You're in Austin. There's places to get tattoos. Mm-hmm. So I got a tattoo, and then I didn't know this until the week of, or like 2 weeks before. I was like. Somebody was like, oh, yeah, I'm sure tickets aren't great because you're going against Austin city limits. And I was like, what? And I looked up, I was like, oh my gosh, like one of the biggest music festivals in the world is here this weekend. Like it wasn't, I'm not talking like we were just like, oh, Pennywise is coming for that. No, this had like Dua Lipa, Tyler the Creator, Sturgill was there, Orville Peck was there, and Willie came out during that. I'm old. Is it Chapel Roan? I think it's Chapel.
Chapel Roan.
Yeah, Chapel Roan. Yeah, Chapel Roan was there. And this was a gigantic music festival. It was like 2 weekends. So really, really big. Nora Jones was there. That's the funny thing about music festivals is, so I was talking to my comedian friend, Sam Lopez, who's based there in Austin, and I started with Sam, and the lineup that she told me she went to, we're like, who did you go and see? She's like, yeah, we saw Nora Jones, the Mr. Wives, Dua Lipa, and Tyler the Creator. I was like, we saw the Nora Jones and Tyler the Creator is wild, on the same.
Yeah.
But a festival like that can be like that. So I was like, I don't know if we're gonna go. I don't know about that. And then I looked at the lineup, and Dustin Kensrue was there, former front seater. He's been on the pod, and we've connected with him. He's the lead singer thrice, but he put out like a Western album this year. So he had a spot, and I was like, oh my gosh, Dustin, we're going to be there. And he's like, yeah, you want a day pass? And I was like, I absolutely would like a day pass.
Yeah.
So I went to some shows Sunday. I went and saw Dustin's full set. It was great. Mm-hmm. Really, really good. It
looked really cool.
It was really, really good.
Background looks so cool too.
Yeah. The background was great. Mm-hmm. And then I caught Medium Build, who I really like Medium Build there. I was like, they were great. Mm-hmm. And then I caught the tail end of Red Clay Strays, like literally like their last two songs. And then all of Sturgill. And so it was like very, very...
So fun.
I've never been to a music festival.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I get it now. Because once you get here, it is very convenient. Like, Red Clay Strays ended, and then everyone just walked, like, literally, like, 50 yards. They're like, now we're going to the Honda stage. Mm-hmm. We're leaving this stage, the Coors Light stage or whatever, over to the Honda stage. And now there's another band. So I get it. But I don't know. What do you think of festivals? Are you a festival guy?
Oh, I like them, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you were just in
I just played Furnace Fest.
Yeah. They can be further away than that, by the way.
And Furnace Fest is actually, like, the layout for that is amazing. Like, it's small. It's around a huge, like, old steel mill, coal mill that's just, like, horrifying and haunted. And it's a rad venue for, obviously, like, heavy bands and rock bands. But it's sad because it's, like, the last year of this version of it.
The fire's burning out. The furnace.
But Birmingham is, like, I think, has an incredible opportunity to be like to do a South by Southwest style like shows because there's tons of venues all through the city. So, but generally speaking, I love like festivals and being able to just walk from one stage to the other. I mean, I used to go, going to Warped Tour all the time when I was younger, and which is kind of a nightmare. Like Warped Tour is even like kind of crazy, but it's still like being able to see all those bands.
Well, you see bands
Coachella
so fun, and your expectations kind of lower just a tad because it's outdoors. The stages are a little different. You're not expecting all the lights and all the extras. The headliners at night will do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so you kind of almost have like you don't feel like if that band is kind of off, you're not like I paid all this money to like see this band and it sucked.
Yeah,
so less pressure. So you almost I enjoy it more almost for that reason.
Yeah, it was fun. It was great. I really liked it, and Dustin had a great set. And he was really played like you should, because he was really an undercard. Because, listen, if Thrice plays a punk festival, they're higher up on the. But I mean, everyone's like
on the lineup.
Yeah. And he's doing songs that people don't know, but his crowd, and he was like, hey, if you're just stopping by, I'm Dustin Kensrue, you know, and there were definitely his fans that really knew the stuff and knew some of his solo stuff, and then people were coming out, and his crowd kept growing because they were like, oh, especially in Texas, they're like, we really like this guy's sound. He's got the slide guitar. And then he closed with that, Closer, the Halsey Chainsmoker.
Oh,
yeah. You've heard it a million times.
I did a body pump.
Yeah. And I don't know if I'm burying the joke on this, but I'm going to tell it anyways. He did a very Dustin joke where he was not this Dustin, that Dustin. He was like, okay, so this last song, little known secret is my grandfather wrote this song. And then no one got the joke because then he played the song, and then we're like, wait, did his, huh? But to him, he was like, because he wanted his weird Andy Kaufman stuff. And he's like a little smirring. And I was like, that is very funny because obviously. And then that was amazing because a bunch of white girls in cowboy hats just stormed over, and they're like, we love this, we know this song, and they're dancing, and they're like, I was like, this is awesome. What a moment to see the lead singer of Thrice, who's become a fan, in this moment singing this song, and a bunch of like, you know, basic white girls like, woo, we love him. And I was like, and then the marketer in me was like, Dustin, you really,
there it is.
You really should have had your name up somewhere. You could have picked up some Instagram followers if this would have said @Dustin Kensrue. But anyways, it was very cool. And that's one of the fun things about music festivals. You can just capture a little bit. Hey, Mel, bonus bingo dingo. How about for the best Christmas pageant ever?
It's a super fun movie.
So fun.
Yes.
You knew the story. You knew the play?
Yeah. Our daughter was in this pageant.
I should have known it, too.
It was not a pageant, but it's called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. It's a book. It's a play. It was super fun.
Basic idea, right? You get your church annual Christmas performance, super important, especially in like a small town type setting, right?
Yeah. And it's pretty traditional. They don't switch it up.
Exactly. It's very important. But suddenly, the bad kids, quote unquote, the bad kids, you know, they
find their way into the cast.
Yeah.
Yep. They bully their way in.
Exactly. And they want to be in it. They want to be in church because there's donuts, and churches, you know, who doesn't want donuts? So they're there, and, you know, hilarity
ensues.
And disaster and mayhem ensue.
And I will say, Judy Greer and Pete Holmes, amazing.
Very good.
The children are really good actors.
Really, really good. It's a lot of fun.
Sometimes the kids aren't. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really sweet. It's really fun. You can bring everyone in your household.
Yeah. It's from Kingdom Story and Lionsgate. It's directed by Dallas Jenkins. Judy Greer, Pete Holmes, so funny in it. It's really a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. You're going to be sitting around with a family, the kids, the grandparents. Hey, we all got to watch something. Well, this is the something for you to watch, all right? It is out November 8th with some early access and showtimes on National Cinema Day, which is November 2nd. So for more information, go to bestchristmaspageantever.movie. That's bestchristmaspageantever.movie.
5 out of 5 bingo dingos.
5 out of 5 bingo dingos. Check it out, everybody. You, on the other hand... Oh, I didn't even talk about going to Nashville. Nashville was all work. Nashville, so I woke up super early out of Austin, flew to Nashville. I have a dynamic weekend recap. Like a couple weeks ago, I was like, I was in Appleton. That's what I did. This one a little more exciting. Did Nateland with Dusty and Brian.
Okay.
Had a lot of fun doing it. Dusty and I have not talked a lot, but I feel like I'm close to him. We have a kinship. We're in similar circles. We're both Dustins.
Dads.
We're both dads. We're in the Nateland era. We both love country music.
You work clean.
We work clean. He wanted to talk about Sturgill. That was one of the things we talked about. Is can you just say Sturgill and know who you're talking about? And Bates was like, I don't know, and we're like, well, I think you can. But it was great. It was a fun episode. Should come out. And stayed at John's, did 2 spots did the Nateland live show and then new material Monday. It's great.
So is that the lab and the main stage?
Yeah, I went on the main stage and then I went over to the lab.
Nice.
It was great. It was a fun show. Did in true efforts of new material, got a couple bits working. That Leo bit's working. It's very silly.
And you have to do new bits, right?
You should do at least a couple new ideas.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I told that.
Fun.
Yeah. And
you did it.
I did it.
The new one. That's great.
I still got to tweak how you get into it, but the basic. Have I told you this joke?
I don't think so.
It's a
you wrote it Monday.
I wrote it last week. We were just crossing the street, and I was like, I just had a funny idea. Like, it's not a finished version that goes. Me and my wife, we have a lot of confrontation, but I'm a very strong leader because I'm a Leo. Not the astrological sign, the Ninja Turtle. Yeah. And it's like very stupid. So I haven't figured out the words to it yet. I think I'm just going to say I'm a strong leader. I got to get rid of the, because you're trying to, I'm a very strong leader because I'm a Leo, not the astrological sign. I'm the Ninja Turtle. So it's so silly. It's just, I mean, talk about a jokey joke. That's where it's sometimes hard to fit, to do a little Dustin's Comedy Corner here. It's sometimes hard to fit a pure, asinine, silly, means nothing joke. Because when you're mostly talking about your life and your stories, you're like, where do I put this like super silly thing that means nothing in here?
Yeah. It's essentially like a one-liner.
It is a one-liner.
Yeah, but it's like the birds on a plane for a few weeks ago. Like that worked. You know,
worked.
It's just the bird could have done it itself.
Yeah, the bird could have done it itself. Oh, I got to put that on stage.
Forgot about that.
Bird on a plane. Bird didn't need this plane. I got to write that down. Yes, I forgot about that. That's so silly. Bird. Anyways, the funny thing is Mel was going to go with me, but Mel was deep in tie-dye all weekend.
I was.
You had made tie-dye commitments.
Yes. So Gloria's volleyball team wanted to do a team building activity. And it's also, I didn't know this, but kind of in high school, teams will do pink, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And, maybe you see socks or something, but we're talking bows, shoelaces, arm pads, knee pads, shirts, everything's pink. So I prepped tie-dye. I mean, we purchased everything. I prepped tie-dye on Friday to have some samples for them. And then Saturday, I'm looking into the full sun and teaching 16 teenage girls, athletes, how to tie-dye, and then we're tie-dyeing socks, Nike socks. We're labeling everything. We're bagging it. But
it looks great.
But then I had to go home and Sunday wring it out, wash it, dry it, and then I've never done this, but I got nylon letters, and then we put their last names on the shirts and their numbers.
They
and
look so
we
good.
Ironed them on.
You crushed
and stuff.
it. You're so qualified for this job. Overqualified. I think you majored in t-shirt dye and laminates.
Yeah. So between the arts and crafts and the team building, this is my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And that's the strange thing about teams is you're on the court every day, 5-6 days a week practicing, but then you get in your civilian clothes, your street clothes, and you bring a dish to a potluck and you're just what are we supposed to do? We're volleyball players, so they're just kind of sitting around, and then we did the tie-dyeing activity and the potluck, and then they all jumped in the pool at this girl's house in their jeans. So it was adorable, super fun.
And our little kids, our little teens realized just how heavy those baggy jeans are when they're wet. They jumped into a pool in like a pair of Jinkos, essentially. You're going to sink to the bottom.
Yeah.
You're not coming up.
They were cold, but they had a blast.
That is an anchor. You're wearing an anchor.
It's definitely, they're going to remember that.
Yeah.
So it was super fun. And then yesterday for the game, they wore all their pink gear and they looked great. And even Gloria, who had her doubts and reservations, on Friday, she told me she hated tie-dye. As I was prepping the samples. So, yeah, it all worked out.
I mean, who hates tie-dye? That's such like a teen thing to say when you're just like, I hate tie-dye. You're like, you don't have to have a strong take on tie-dye. You can be ambivalent about tie-dye.
No, there's no ambivalence. Well, there's either hatred or ambivalence with teenagers. Yeah. And she chose hatred. But after the event and after she was on the bus driving to the game yesterday and she was texting me. She's like, the warm-ups and socks look pretty cool.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. What a moment for a mom. That's huge.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, I had my doubts, but they turned out pretty cool.
I had my doubts, Mom.
I had my doubts, too.
Did it get hairy for a minute? Were you worried?
Well, the dye that I did my samples with was totally different than the dye that my friend bought.
Yeah.
And so everything got super saturated. Mm-hmm. Like there was no white. Everything was pink.
Yeah.
But at least you could still see the tie-dye.
Yeah.
Like it would have been pretty funny if
I thought you had some tie-dye on your hands, but that's just your psoriasis.
Oh, just... My skin is tie-dyed.
I was really hesitant.
Dead, Dustin. You're dead.
I was really hesitant to say that because I don't know.
Sit on my hands.
Because I don't know if people would get that that's funny to you, and you would you don't care that I. But out of context, people are like, that's who's roasting his wife. We've laughed about this a lot. We've laughed. Yeah. Melissa has approved psoriasis jokes being told on stage.
Yeah, I mean.
We all got something.
Well, yeah. I mean.
I got some bumps back here that I'm unsure about. Yeah. I showed them to you the other day. She's like, you should probably look at that. You should probably go in. And I was like, how's January look? We're pushing appointments off to January. Eyes. Yes. Yeah, we were talking about that last week. Yeah, got an eye thing.
Time.
I got some bumps.
Q4?
In Q4. I tried to make a dentist appointment the other day, and they're like, "Oh, okay, great. How does May 2025 look?"
Yeah,
I was like, "I'm sorry, my teeth hurt now."
I think I'm gonna be due for my next appointment then.
Yeah, I think my teeth will be gone by then.
Aren't I supposed to see you every 6 months? Well, you did a great job, and
thanks. It was fun.
You know, I know you hate when I say you're a good mom.
Yes, I do.
But you are a very good mom.
No, it was a lot of fun. I mean...
Taylor told me I was a good dad today because I told her I couldn't do Kansas City for Joel's...
Well, that's sweet of her.
Well, she's got dad stuff, so, you know, that... not to do Taylor's act, but...
Let's talk about that.
Be my guest. Sorry, that's a reference to a Taylor joke. If there's someone who knows Taylor's hours, it's this guy.
In most of America.
That's
very
true.
famous.
She's very famous. She's doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
She told me she got recognized. We were texting over the week, and she's like, I got recognized a lot in Des Moines. I was like, what? You're big in Iowa. It's great.
That's awesome.
You know?
There was a random O-side Facebook group I'm in, and someone was asking, someone was holding up their nails being like, where's all the girly places in Oceanside to hang out? And in the background was Taylor's show on the TV.
Oh my gosh, that's very funny. You got to send me that screenshot. That's so funny.
She's like, I'm going to post this, but first I also have Taylor on.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the classic stuff you like to see.
Just so here's some of my interests. Here's the thing that I'm posting, but here are some of my interests. Speaking of interests,
Amazing.
Why don't you pull up that article I sent you, the first one, and we're going to go to this is I found this is really, really interesting here. So as we look at this, so I read these two articles, and I realized like millennials and Gen Z, we have found our common ground, and it's being sad. Like we really we share that in common. We are a melancholy. We're both millennials and Gen Z are very melancholy. So this article said the Spotify's data shows that Gen Z's top search is sad. And that's what I'm saying. Millennials and Gen Z, we have found our common ground. It's being bummed out.
It's not even a full sentence. It's like just sad.
Just sad. Just what do you got me for sad? And then when you pull up that second article that I sent you, it's showing that that Gen Z, scroll to the very top. The very top.
Wait.
It says Gen Z's love for nostalgia, why young people are rediscovering 90s music. Because Gen Z loves being sad, they're finding our music. Because we had such good sad music. And so I just feel like it really is bridging the gap between Gen Z and millennials, because you're like, no, man, we got it. We got the good. If you go back to 90s music, of course, the grunge, Alice in Chains, the Cranberries. Remember the Macy Gray song that I try to say goodbye and I choke, try and walk away and I stumble? That's a very sad song. Tears in Heaven came out in the 90s. It's sad. Jewel. Everything,
Jewel.
like even our love songs were so, and my theory on this is because The Cure and the Smiths were all our band's favorite bands. And REM. And they were like, hey, sad music's the thing. So they just like really mastered it. And sad music is bringing the generations together.
It's great.
I love it.
I when I read the article, or I skimmed it, and it was like saying that it's relaxing.
Yeah.
You know, sad music like helps you feel, and Gen Z is very in touch with their feelings and likes to feel understood. And part of it is like Gen Z can customize, you know, like these playlists and their, you know, earphones.
Headphones.
That's fine.
AirPods.
And like we had like CDs, you know, and then MP3s or, you know, I
started with tapes. There were a couple tapes.
Oh, yeah.
We
had tapes.
CDs.
But when we were teens, we had the radio and we had CDs. And that was like the CD buying process was very important to us. And
it is sad that they don't get physical media like we did. The death of physical media is a bummer.
And you were saying like MTV and all that, but they have these like playlists, and I hear them like at the cross country meets. They're like, what's your workout playlist? What's your hype song? You know, when they're warming up for the races and stuff. So they still really care about music, because I think young people in general, like, I mean, everyone enjoys music, but young people are like looking, you know, for something to
just wait till one of your kids gets slipped a mixtape. You know? Have you seen what this is?
They make playlists for each other. Yeah. It's the same idea, like custom playlists.
I can see them going back though, because like, you know, because tapes are like second layer to vinyl now.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting on.
Are tapes gonna come back?
They're already back.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, like my band did one last year.
But they don't sound better. Records.
It's still the novelty.
Yeah.
Like the desire for physical media is there. It's just like having vinyl, but now it's like, oh, but tapes are like
it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
This is why I like listening to radio. Is just the pure spontaneity of what might come on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I forgot about that song. I haven't heard of that. And like getting to listen to whatever song you want, whatever. You're like, oh, I want to listen to Gnarls Barkley. That's on. And immediately, you know, you have to go get it.
The DJ.
Yeah,
know?
Exactly. Yeah.
But also, like, some people, they're like, listen to this playlist in order.
Yeah.
Don't put it on shuffle.
Yeah.
Like, the chronology was intentional.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I think it's like, it's their own way of discovering music.
I think it's fun to think about how 80s and 90s kids did. I mean, there's always been sad music. Sad music is, listen, Cats to the Cradle. Dylan wrote a lot of heavy songs. There's always been some sad music, but it really was the popular music when we were kids. The Backstreet Boys had a song about loneliness.
Yeah, there's a lot of breakup songs.
Yeah, but not just like, you broke my heart. You know, they had the show me the feeling of being lonely.
Yeah.
That was a song. That was a hit. That was the Backstreet Boys. They're like,
True.
we're lonely. You're like, well, if you're lonely, then we're all lonely.
Yeah. They referenced Adele.
So and that's what I'm saying. I think that, like, I don't know, it is to me very, like, they love nostalgia, and because it does, nostalgia is very comfortable.
It was like kind of jarring, like our kids like Green Day.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, that's okay.
Yeah,
like, I didn't see that.
It's
happening,
great. It's very
know?
fun, but it's like Green Day is a band that stayed relevant for a while, so I get it. But like, I liked 80s and 70s stuff when I was a kid. You know, good music just lasts, and we produce good sad music, and so it's you know, generations can come together over loneliness and sadness. It ends up.
That's good.
It's what I feel for Gen Z is, at least millennials, when millennials, the one advantage, how do I even say this? It's like, at least for millennials, when we are being nostalgic, we remember a better time. Gen Z didn't have a better time. They're like, I was just too young to know how bad of a time it was. So I feel for them. But yeah, because now Gen Z is like, they go back and they listen to REM. They're like, yeah, man, everybody does hurt. Everybody hurts. And we're like, yeah, except boomers, I guess. I don't know. They do. They just don't talk about it. So there we go. That's what millennials and Gen Z have as come. Millennials
they just don't have the emotional.
They don't have the tools. Music.
Literacy.
They didn't have the music. They didn't have the arts. So there we go. We bridge the gap. Gen Zs and millennials. Sad music and never owning a home.
There it is.
Spotify Premium.
Listen to your sad songs in your rental home.
I think there's also a gap between like our parents were not home, and like their millennial parents are all working. You know, it's like there's something. I feel like there's an inroad there.
Alone in my room, right?
Yeah.
In my room, I am. That's right.
It's close.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah. That was close enough.
Here in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Got that?
Yeah, that's a.
Yeah. I did get that. Sorry, I was just, your Weezer one was funny because I was like, you're kind of mixing it with in the garage, but
Listen, I tried. You cut it.
No, it was you did a good job, but you know, the Goldfinger reference. Here in my bedroom. Okay, let's do a couple emails and then get out of here. I know that's we have some great emails that I'm excited to read to you.
Okay.
All right, here we go. This one is from Chase. Subject a few things. Chase has got a list.
Okay, Chase.
Number 1, pumpkin spice does not contain pumpkins, nor is it supposed to taste like pumpkins. It's the flavor of spices used in pumpkin pie.
Okay.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
You probably did. I don't think I actually thought there was pumpkins in there.
I've made homemade pumpkin spice lattes. And
Yeah, there's not a lot of pumpkin.
I do put pumpkin in mine.
Yeah, you can. I think some of the nicer places will actually use a little pumpkin puree. You know, give you a little bit of the
fact check, Chase.
There you go.
Remember when our friends owned Mission Brew, they had a pumpkin pie latte, and they used, canned pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
So you can buy like canned pumpkin, or you can buy canned pumpkin pie. They mixed that into the whipped cream.
Okay.
Yeah. Like even Mercedes at home, she took some of the pumpkin from the can and mixed it with creamer for her creamer that she's made in the morning lately.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I just cut off a chunk of pumpkin.
Assumed.
I like a pumpkin
shave
chunk.
it.
I just like to get the little noodle strings and just eat them. I like to make linguine out of them. Number 2, I thought the Galactus joke last week was excellent. Did I make a Galactus joke? Does anybody remember a Galactus joke?
That must have been a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad
I'm sure you did.
This is over a month ago, so please more content like that. I might be the only one that appreciates it, but as the saying goes...
It was very memorable.
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
No, it's a joke.
Chase liked it, and Chase knows more about pumpkin spices than you.
Andy and I don't remember. That's why we're joking.
But as the saying goes, you can't please all the people all the time, so at least please me. I don't know that saying. But all right. That being said, quick bingo dingo. I haven't finished the season yet. I don't think the season's out yet, but the new Penguin show is so good.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. It's like my favorite DC show ever. It's so stinking good. It's like, I'm thinking about Marvel shows too. I'm like, probably WandaVision 1. First season Loki, great, but Penguin is not done yet. But it is it's like a mobster movie.
Where do you watch it?
HBO or Max.
My favorite on that is that actually it's in the art because they actually with the G they make the nose and it's really subtle. So if you don't know the like penguin nose kind of thing,
so good in it too.
So good.
Yeah, it's really really good.
Yeah.
It's really really good. Really compelling character. Yeah.
I like it.
Number 3, you offered to discuss religion with someone on Nateland once. Don't remember if it was the normal podcast or the one introducing y'all, but I'll gladly take you up on that. I'm a Christian and I love discussing theology. When it comes to YouTube, I watch your podcast, Nateland, and a bunch of theology videos. Nice. My big now is Calvinism versus non-Calvinism. You mean Arminianism? I don't like all the non-Calvinist perspectives into the Arminian. Oh, there you said it. Because I personally find Arminianism too much like Calvinism, because they both make the process way too complicated. Well, my friend, whatever it is you believe, you were predestined before the foundations of the earth to believe it. So, Ephesians 2. Excuse me, actually, I believe that verse is Galactus 2:8.
Hey, that's for Chase.
Boom, Chase. Number 4, I didn't learn about you guys till the week after you come to Atlanta, and that makes me sad. I really enjoy your podcast and your comedy as well. Keep it up. Feel free to send me all the points above. You covered it all, Chase. Thanks for the email, Chase. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Chase.
Let's do
3 pounds of salmon for you.
2. That'll get in the mail. They'll send in you
Patreon tier. We're giving away salmon boxes.
That's the highest one. My grandpa used to catch salmon, put them in frozen containers and send them.
He would reuse the styrofoam boxes.
Love it. This is from Rebecca.
He'd be very mad if you threw him out. Sorry.
He would.
Yeah,
he would.
He's like, send that back.
You're not getting any next year then. All right. Subject, hi, this is from Rebecca. This is when we were talking about, I took math and practical art. We had math and art at our local university, but it was so hard to get into because the only other course that satisfied the math requirement was statistics the first year. So you had to do statistics or math and art. Another easy A course was called the Well-Tempered Concert Goer. You just had to go to any concert.
I have heard of this.
And then write a paper on your experience.
Oh, I needed that. I needed that back then.
Yeah. Rebecca from Manitoba, Canada.
Amazing. The
P.S. You also nailed the breast pump soundtrack.
You did. I thought we would get some more from that.
That was what I did, right?
Yeah.
It was
I'll bring it onto stage. I'll do the like what sometimes you do. Yeah, talk about a beverage goblin. Bye.
Bye.
Hey there, everybody. Want to give a special shout out to our As Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up patrons. Thanks so much for giving to the pod and getting a little more of the pod. That's Adam Bush,
Averill Griffiths,
Aubrey Antis,
Allison Nelson,
Andy and Darlene Gerton,
Avery Starr,
Bonnie Galindo,
Carrie Teague,
Christopher and Bridget Finland,
Code to Grow,
Courtney Eibling,
Damaris Diaz Stevens,
Daniel Owens,
Dave and Melissa Cox,
Dave Hoagland,
Dustin Daly.
Oh, that's my name. Well, the first part of it is Jason and Francis Whites,
Jen Thurk,
Jessica Hanrahan,
Jonathan Rivera,
Joshua and Nikki Platt,
Jordan Cowan,
Juliana Smith,
Lori Amos,
Lauren Rachel,
Matt and Sam Slosdom,
Michelle Carlson, Go Mariners,
Nicole Carose,
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie Capin,
Scott Elliott,
Stephen Menya,
and Tiffany
Payne.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.